Hi, this is my first content video for my Sarah Dimes series. I made an introduction video 1 or 2 days ago with an idea to create this series on virtually any topic, and I was very clear that it could turn into a very spiritual discussion, but I don't want it to be a read the Bible or you're going to hell thing, because first of all, that's not exactly black and white, and it's just a poor way of going about things. I just want people to know me, and if they know me, they know that I only try to live for God, and so I'm going to try to answer from His point of view. I'm not God, so don't take my word as gospel or anything, but this is a place where you can come to me with any topic, the things that are hot topics, the things that are hard to talk about. I want that to be what this series is about, that we could talk about things that maybe you're not comfortable talking with people you're really close to. It might be better to talk to a stranger or someone you don't know as well. I have a feeling most people who communicate with me will be those people. They won't necessarily be the closest people around me, because the ones who are closest to me probably already believe a lot of what I believe, and I'm not here to convince you of what I believe. But I do want you to know that I didn't get any requests yet for this series. I only posted the introduction a couple days ago, so maybe some people haven't even seen it that want to suggest anything, and that's fine. I might take a couple videos for that to happen. But I had a thought that I could start broadly and start with a topic that was more of a hot topic maybe a few years ago and maybe isn't as much. I might be wrong about that, but I know that there are other bigger issues that are going on in the world today. However, I figured I would talk about science and my faith. Not to debate science. In fact, almost the opposite. But I don't want to promote it either. I only picked this because it's something that I've been thinking about since at least I was in high school. And that was roughly 8 years ago. So, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, and I figured some people might relate to the science and God debate, but I don't think there is a debate. I think that there's a middle ground, I guess, that you can come to when it comes to science and faith. Now, before I go on to anything specific, I just want you to know that I believe humans did not come from monkeys, which in simple terms is what I know some people believe. And I do believe a sort of evolution happens, like one bird species may modify its nose over decades to accommodate its surroundings, but that's called adaptation. So that's what I believe. I don't believe it's a monkey turns from a dinosaur kind of thing. Like I don't think that's really possible. I don't think that's I think that what has happened is humans included, but animals have adapted to their surroundings over the time, and parts of their body has changed, and that has a lot to do with scientific factors, of course. But I also believe that God is the one who created human beings and animals and the earth, and He timed everything to change as they should over time. He timed everything to adapt to the changes that He knew the world would succumb to. He created the people who are now scientists. He gave them the desire to study what God created, even if they don't acknowledge that God created it. God created science. I believe that. Now, some scientific things are not of God. I believe that too, like the monkeys turning to humans, or maybe cavemen is a scientific thing. Like those things, I don't think, maybe they were cavemen, but maybe not in the stupid, ooh, fire kind of way. They may have just worn, clothes a little bit differently and maybe have been huskier. I'm not sure, but I don't think it matters that much how humans have changed, as long as you don't believe they came from monkeys. Because if you do, I think that contradicts what I believe. And that's okay if you really believe that's true, but I'm here to tell you that I think God created humans and animals and plants and the earth, the sky, everything that we know. He may not have created computers itself, but he created the minds that thought of the computer long ago. So I bet you I could trace everything back to God giving us the skill or the talent or the interest or the learning ability or the physical ability. Everything that we can do is from God. And that's not a cop-out to me. That's a acknowledgement that God is that great, that he can snap his fingers and a rose can pop into my hand, or that he can give us a child, or he could give us wonderful food to eat. He gave us the idea to put seeds into plants. Way more. So like if you have a tomato or a watermelon, it's got seeds, and those seeds will multiply. And you'll never run out of food if you plant. I don't know, things like that really amaze me, honestly. If we think about it, we might put the seeds into the ground and water them, and he uses us to help his creation, the earth, flourish, but it's him who created the idea in the first place. That's what I believe. And I want you to know that I'm going to tell you a lot about what I believe. And if I say something about what I believe, I'm putting myself on the line. Because if I stray from what I believe, if I start to lean back and teeter-totter on different ideas, I don't think that you'll respect me very much. But even if you don't respect me, I just want to be accepted by God. And I know that there are people who don't like me, don't understand me, don't believe what I believe, and may not respect me, whether it's valid or not. And that's okay with me. God even tells me that I'm going to be hated by the world if I follow him. In simple terms, he's acknowledging that we will live a similar life that he did. And he was hated by most people, maybe not at first, but when he started telling the truth about who he was, people started saying he wasn't who he said he was, and that he was blaspheming and sinning, and he never did. So, and he was killed, and most of you probably know that he was killed, but he was killed in the worst way, at least for the time. So, to know that God was killed, I better be able to accept that if one day someone wants to kill me for my faith, I better be able to say, as long as I'll end up being with Jesus, I can't cower away when it finally gets hard. I know this is turning into a bigger, more serious thing, but like I said, that kind of happens with me. But let me get back to the science and faith. There was one time I was watching a show with my dad, and it was about like sea creatures and the way their bodies help them in the water. I don't think it was a science show, actually. They were just sharing some facts about it. But they were talking about the whale and how the whale's rib cage is different from a human's. Ours kind of expands, but theirs is like facing a different way, and it squeezes in the deeper down in the water they go, or something of that sort. Forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but there was something very interesting about how the ribs of the whale worked when they go into the ocean, and we're not meant to be in the ocean, at least not under it, very long. So it interested me. I was thinking, God created certain creatures to react to their environments in different ways, and I thought it's so amazing that I was they were sharing these scientific facts about this animal, but that scientific fact was helping my faith. It was strengthening my faith in God, that there has to be an intelligent creator who made all of this to be. And I know that there are different beliefs as to how the world came to be. I know that there's the Big Bang, and I couldn't tell you much about the Big Bang because when I was taught it in school, I didn't pay attention to the details. I just kind of said, okay, I know they're going to teach this. It didn't really happen that way, blah, blah, blah. That's what I was believing. But you know what? When God said, let there be light, and he created the sea and the sky, and maybe there was a bang. Who knows if when God said, when he created Adam and when he created everything, if it was loud. It could have been loud. There could have been a big bang, and maybe scientists have found certain aspects of when God created, or maybe there wasn't a big bang. I don't think that the world came from nothing, that's for sure, and I think some people believe it did. And I've heard it takes way more faith to believe that this all came from nothing than to believe that God created it, that there is a God. I also know there are some of you watching that believe in God. Maybe you don't believe He created the earth, but you believe He's there watching us, or maybe you believe He created the earth, but He doesn't care for us. I'm not sure what you believe. Feel free to share it. I welcome you to share if you have differing opinions from mine. Just as long as we remain respectful toward each other. I think there's a way we can share what we believe respectfully. And usually it becomes a disrespectful thing when it's publicly commented. I think that's just our nature. Is if someone legitimately wants to be respectful and they leave a comment on my video, someone else might say, oh, that's wrong, and they start being rude, and then it fuels your anger, and it fuels my anger sometimes, and we start to have an argument. So if you want to share, I would suggest just messaging me personally. There's a way to message on YouTube, and if you don't know how to find that, I'll help you find it. Or if you know me personally, you can find me on Facebook or email me or something. I'll try to put my contacts below. But I wanted to end with something. I was thinking about this first topic for this video, and when the science one came to mind, I was reminded of a popular video of an atheist. I will find the name of the atheist and the video if I can. I'll post it in the comments so you can see it. But he said something like, how much do you have to hate somebody to not tell them how to get to heaven? I don't remember how he worded it. Please forgive me if I butchered it, and I don't remember his name at the moment, but I'm going to find that quote and possibly the link to the video. I saw it years back. But some of you may have heard that before, and I was thinking about that because whether you're on the side of science or faith or a mixture of both, if you really believe in something, you should tell people. I think this world is becoming more and more tolerant of things, and that in turn I think makes you not share what you believe. Now, I know what I believe, and if people believe differently than me, I may not want them to share that with people, but if you really believe something is true, I think you should share it. Of course, I'm biased, and I want you to share the love of Jesus Christ because I think that's true. I think that's the only thing that's true, but that's why I'm not afraid to make these videos. I won't be surprised if several videos from now, when I become a relatively regular YouTuber, if people start erring on the side of disrespectful and start arguing with me and start turning it into an ugly battle. And I'm going to try to stop that right away because I don't want this to be an argument. I don't think anyone can argue anyone into believing what they believe. Not effectively. Not in a way that transforms their life. So I'm just saying I won't be surprised if that happens. It's very easy to do on social media, but I want to use social media to tell the truth because I think most people know about my life through social media, and I just have too many convictions about things that people don't talk about, things that people won't share, so I'm sharing it. And I want you to know that if you want clarification about anything that I've shared, or have a question, or you have a suggestion for a video, either a question you have, or you need advice, or a hot topic you want me to share my opinion about, anything, like I said in the introduction, then please feel free to comment, or if it's more personal, you can message me, and you can comment to this video again, respectfully. I look forward to hearing from you, and we will continue this next time. Thank you for watching, and I'm not sure when I'll post again, but I will try to be diligent about communicating that with you. So just keep an eye out. If you want to subscribe, you'll automatically get an email from me when I do post. So keep an eye out, and I'll talk to you next time.